ABC Listen. Podcasts, radio, news, music and more.
This should be dropping into your feed on Christmas Day. If you're like me, you love Chrissy, but it comes with its own kind of special stress and tension, doesn't it? Did you get your nephew the right present? Is your brother going to be nice to your sister? Did you mess up the salad? Are the prawns off? That's why this is a safe space. We're just remembering epic sports stories from the last year and counting in descending order until we reach the zenith. Today sees us well inside the top 10. I'm Patrick Stack. This is ABC Sport Daily. Number 8 is Jamie Mellom. This woman's backstory could be a work of fiction. Born Jamie Carr to Olympic speed skaters John and Karen, grew up in the Adelaide Hills, left school aged 15 to be an apprentice jockey. Her first race in regional SA, the town of Streaky Bay, cracking seafoods, lots of sharks, a pretty ropey racetrack, but that was where she got her start, and it was not long before she had a win and just kept on winning. By 2021, Mellom was the first jockey in Victoria to ride 100 Metro winners in one season. And it coincided with the year that she found trouble. See, that was COVID times, and you can't party in COVID times. Mellom and her now husband Ben and a few other jockeys held an illegal gathering in Mornington Peninsula. Jamie was suspended for the entire spring racing carnival. Almost from that moment on, the redemption arc was loading. And when Mellom won the Caulfield Cup in October, aboard Half Yours, she became the only female jockey in 149 years to achieve the feat.
Just you saying Caulfield Cup is going to make me cry. Look, I've had an incredible career and ridden 17 Group 1s now, but that major has obviously eluded me, and I just wanted to get one, but now I want maybe 3 more, maybe a Melbourne Cup.
Mellom was far from done. 10 years on from Michelle Payne's watershed victory at the Melbourne Cup, the South Australian did what no woman had ever done. She claimed the Caulfield Cup, Melbourne Cup double.
300 metres to go. Goody 2 shoes for Ireland, led by a length and a quarter. Middle Earth and Half Yours is getting through. Goody 2 shoes with Half Yours challenging at the clock tower. Half Yours takes the lead from Goody 2 shoes. Middle Earth, River of Stars. Half Yours is coming clear for Jamie Carr for the Cups double. Half Yours, the history maker, won the Lexus Melbourne Cup by 3 lengths.
What just happened? Oh my God. Just won the Melbourne Cup.
Mellom spoke about being inspired by her former mentor, the late Cole McKenna, as well as her recently departed grandfather.
Look, we've got Cole up there, who him and Janice bred this horse. Done an incredible job with him, obviously. I have to mention my grandpa, he died last week. The last thing he watched was the Caulfield Cup, and he was such a big supporter of mine, so he's up there opening those gaps for me because I needed a few gaps opened then.
Storybook. Perfect. No notes. Number 7. State of Origin is a footy rivalry just steeped in folklore. Legendary stories about Arthur Beetson and Fatty Vaughton, Michael O'Connor, Alan Langer. But Cameron Munster's Game 3 effort from 2025 stands in a league of its own. The shock death of his father, days out from the decider, rattled the Queensland camp and rocked the rugby league community. Billy Slater spoke to something way, way bigger than a game of footy.
You know, within 10 minutes of sitting with him in his room on Sunday morning, he looked at me and he said, "Bill, I'm playing." And I know he wanted to, I know his dad would have wanted him to, and boy, that's one proud dad sitting up there watching his boy tonight.
Perhaps the moment many will remember from Munster when they think about this game in their mind's eye actually came pre-game. As he ran out at Stadium Australia, he looked to the sky.
Oh yeah, I just asked him to use as much energy as he can. He hasn't got a whole heap of energy. He was a big boy, so needed 10% of him, so it was good. I love him, and I'll obviously grieve and deal with what I have to deal with tomorrow, and obviously onwards, whatever happens.
The Maroons engineered an insane, huge upset against a New South Wales side full of talent, but without answers to a Queensland team powered by a captain who was fronting up at his hardest possible moment.
Now Grant goes right in. Show and go. Tom Dearden's over. He scores for the Maroons. 6 minutes 30 to go. Queensland 24, New South Wales 6. Game, set, bingo, Queensland miracle.
goal. Why is anyone surprised? They're going to win the series.
Number 6, Tasmania's often felt like a forgotten sibling in the Aussie Rules family. A state chock full of history in the code is quietly watched on as the AFL expanded into Queensland and New South Wales, and the sport in the Apple Isle has withered on the vine. So, when the AFL indicated a desire to have a team out of Tasmania, there was no shortage of support from footy fans in the state, but also across the league. Not that it was perfect. Plenty of people wondered whether this new team could wash its face from a financial perspective. Then there was the stadium. One condition of the AFL licence was a new facility with a roof. This was not something Tasmanians readily agreed to across the board. And while the state government was chips in, the situation unravelled around a desire to fast-track the build. Labor opposition tabled a vote of no confidence in Premier Jeremy Rockliff. It was stunningly carried.
I acknowledge and respect the vote of the House today, as I have respected every single vote that has taken place in this House in my 23 years. In my personal opinion, this is a very sad day for Tasmania.
This resulted in huge delays for the timeline, new hurdles and likely escalating costs. Tasmanian Devils officials, they were distraught as their football club hung in the balance. Here was Kath McCann grappling with the reality that it looked like it could be coming apart.
The work that this club is doing, can I just for a sec? This club is powered by our future generations, by our kids and by our grandkids. It's an opportunity to bring this state together. It's an opportunity to create pathways. And they're real, they're happening now.
It meant a fourth state election in 7 years. This was the second time the stadium would be a pivotal issue in deciding who would govern the state. The Libs were returned to government in a minority capacity, and Labor made it clear they would endorse the Macquarie Point facility. The matter still needed to pass both houses of parliament, with staunch opposition from the Greens and plenty of undecided independents. In December, we finally got our answer.
The democratic process has taken its place. I said that the order would be approved, the stadium would be approved by both houses of parliament, and it has. Today we can move forward with this project. We can move forward.
The AFL and Tasmanian Devils, they breathe a sigh of relief. Here's Brendan Gale.
Look, clearly it's an incredible result. There has been uncertainty. We have kept our eye on the ball. We've focused on the present. We've controlled the controllables and got about building our club day by day. But this does remove a considerable amount of uncertainty. The stadium will be built. We will be playing in 2028. And so we look forward to getting on the business of building our football club, building our organisation, and most importantly, building our football teams.
Number 5. In terms of Australian rites of passage, drinking too much and having a run-in with a London cab driver, it's a pretty well-trodden path. Might be up there with watching the NRL or AFL Grand Final at the Walkabout in Shepherd's Bush at breakfast. Sometimes both things happen on the same day. So when the story broke that Australia's biggest hero in football, Sam Kerr, had found herself entangled with the law over such an incident, didn't feel enormous to me in the moment. As the story evolved, the gravity of the accusations built. A charge of racially aggravated harassment against a UK police officer in question would potentially see Kerr sent to prison. Imagine Pat Cummins, Ash Barty, Paddy Mills doing jail time. Nuts, right? There was a long wait for the trial, and when we got there, the evidence made waves. A jury heard about Kerr's boozy night out in central London with her partner, a drunken taxi ride, a heated fight with the driver, and the combative exchange with officers at the police station.
Honestly, you guys are stupid and white.
Okay.
I'm looking you in the eyes.
Why are you
I'm looking you in the eyes. Like
so
stupid. I'm over this. This is the world problem. Wait on the call. Wait on the call. Wait on the call.
Her defence was multifaceted and driven by experience of Kerr's Perth upbringing, including instances of racism and even the impact of the infamous Claremont serial killer case on her fear of taxi drivers. Ultimately, she was cleared by the jury.
She has since released a statement. She said that she apologises for expressing herself poorly on what was a traumatic evening. She says she's always maintained that she did not intend to insult or harm anyone and that she's thankful that the jury unanimously agreed. She went on to say that she's fully focused on getting back on the pitch and she looks forward to an exciting year ahead for her and her family.
And the conversation shifted as to whether she would return to the captaincy of the Matildas. What we felt was a less explored element of the story was Kerr's relationship with Football Australia. Now, FA discovered the news of this controversy via the media. Why Kerr did not communicate with head office, it's still unclear. The vacuum left is filled with questions, and the obvious assumption is that she didn't trust her federation to protect the information. In the wake of the trial, the FA released a 6-sentence statement. The part that had industry insiders raising their eyebrows was this. Football Australia invests heavily in building the behavioural standards and expectations of all involved with our game, especially for our national team players, where leadership comes with added responsibilities on and off the field. Football Australia will reflect with Sam on learnings from this matter, and we will continue to provide appropriate support for her moving forward. Spin forward to now. There's a new FA CEO, a new Matildas coach. Steph Catley has been exceptional as Tilly's skipper, yet with Kerr having returned to international football and the Asian Cup looming in 2026, you wonder whether the captaincy question will resurface. What a story. Incredible to think there are 4 even bigger ones still remaining. I'm Patrick Stack. This is ABC Sport Daily. It's been produced by Poppy Penny. We'll see you soon. Thanks to Racing.com, Channel 9 and Tasmanian Parliament for the extra audio used in this episode.
Discover more great ABC podcasts, live radio and exclusives on the ABC Listen app.